for a set. We are at a tie match at the drop. Double gen pop to avoid the deadlock. They do go down. There is a haste status effect. They did be careful here. The hatch is going to spawn momentarily. Dead Hard could get them the distance to get it too. Shot.
Really smart play on the ace. Oh my god, getting shot through the window.
No longer have distortion, and they are gonna teleport here. I think they get there in time. Yes!
Oh, the grab! Yes!
Oh my god!
That is disappointing. This is be a 4-man out because.
Yeah, but they will be able to block this. Yo, getting caught on that. Ace coming with the body block. Oh, they were here.
Hey, what is up, guys? It's Giltspire here, and welcome back to Champions of the Fog. We are here today for match number 2 of round number 1, Lore vs. Iconic. And we are kicking things off spicy with a bit of a Blight mirror match on the Blood Lodge. We're going to be kicking off with Iconic's Killer versus Lore's Survivor team. Only time will tell which Blight is the speediest and which survivors can dodge them the best. But without further ado, we are loading up in this lobby as we speak. You know, just dealing with the console load times. Eventually, we'll get a bit of a optimization update. But for now, we will wait here patiently as we are loading on in. And just to let you guys know, this will be our last match of the day, so if you are here to support, now is the time to do so, as we will see Matar piloting the Blight for Iconic and finding survivors very quickly off the bat. Getting the hit at the wall on the Nia. Nia trying to go for a slow vault, not to draw attention of the Blight, but unfortunately unable to get through in time. That slow vault giving the Blight a lot of opportunity. We will see a Jake coming in for the body block, potentially a deliverance on the Nia. Blight now having to make a choice of who they go for, and will end up down in Nia very quickly. Amazing chase there by the Blight. Not even half of their corrupt intervention had been used. And Jake in a bit of a unfortunate position here, as the Blight is now able to chase them at the LT wall. However, Blight unable to get the down quickly, though we do see a unhook nearby, and the Blight will get the down at the L wall on the Jake. Two very quick back-to-back downs in the Blight's favor. Amazing job so far, and we do see another survivor moving towards the hill. It looks like that is the injured Nia. That is a huge play here for the Blight, as they will now be able to go for the tunnel out in addition to, as Nia will approach Shaq. Blight trying to go for a hug tech, unable to get it though. Nia playing it safe and trying to get to the pallet, will drop it, but on the wrong side, Nia will go down. The survivors unhooking as quickly as the Blight is getting downs, and first survivor, or first generator, being completed off there in the distance. Only one survivor on the gen this entire time. Nia now on second hook, primed and ready to go back to the campfire. Blight taking a look around, trying to identify where the survivors are, and seen no one so far, but doing a great job of managing their blighted rush in order to check a look at these gens. A little progress on that gen, but not a whole lot. We do see a survivor there on hill looking to be a Dwight, but looks like Blight will opt to kick the gen. Now, It's gonna be interesting for these survivors to figure out what perks these are. One of them they're going to know right away. Us, the viewers, will be able to see a gen highlighted in yellow, so at the very least either a Call of Brine or Eruption. The survivors, upon touching a gen, will find out that there is a overcharge in the mix as well. Nia trying to get to the pallet, Blight with the body block. Nia trying to get the blind with the firecracker, unable to do so as they will get down at the pallet. Nia at 4 gens, about to be sent back to the campfire via the entity. A amazing play here by the Blight. Survivors in a bit of dire straits here as they will go for the ace. Unable to get the hit at the pallet, however. Was thinking that maybe they might get the hit through the pallet stun, but unsuccessful in doing so. Dwight here, though, at the crane, and looks like Blight will opt to kick the gen with both Overcharge and Call of Brine together, regressing that gen pretty severely. We will see another gen popping off in the distance. Survivors not going down without a fight. Ace, this time not so lucky, getting hit through the pallet. And we will see the chase continue. Blight trying to work around the LT wall, see if they get the hit here, and Ace going down. Amazing, amazing play there by the Blight, using their bounces to perfection. We'll see Call of Brine as well as a noise notification there in the distance. And it looks like another kick to the gen. And once again, Call of Brine Overcharge doing a bit of work as the survivors are unable to get near the hook, let alone touch the generator in time. Do want to note that after a quick check of the rules, looks like Call of Brine and Overcharge is a banned combo. So there will be a 2-point reduction in favor of the survivors here in this match. So something to keep in mind as we do move in towards the end of this match. Blight almost bouncing off that car there over the hill, trying to go for the ace as we speak. Ace now at Shack, though not utilizing it to its fullest, it would seem, as they are still broken, and looks like Blight will get the hit at the window. A bit of a mid-vault there, unfortunately extending the hit box just enough for the Blight to take as much time as they need. Ace here will get picked up, and this will be the 6th hook now for the Blight. Only 2 generators remaining. And we will see that the gen here, not a lot of progress to be had. And we also see what looks to be the Jake with a life play, getting a lot of distance here on the Blight. Blight just unable to make things up. And we will see another kick of the gen, Call of Brine Eruption. We're seeing the Dwight here now trying to get to the gen in time to halt the regression, and will successfully get the pallet stun as well as the gen tap to boot. Huge play there by the Dwight. Blight not carrying though, will try and go for the down. Dwight now with a very weak tile here, and Blight taking the time, going for Call of Brine as well as the overcharge applied to that gen. Blight now with the rush, trying to get to the Dwight in time, unable to do so though. Dwight with an amazing dodge there, now utilizing the Shack tile. However, looks like Blight will instead drop chase and now go for the ace. Good, clean hit there, and looks like we're going to now continue chase on Ace as survivors do get a 3rd generator completed here. Survivors doing a fantastic job keeping these chases nice and long and reducing the potential regression from Call of Brine Overcharge. Ace going down though, and going back up on a hook. We do see the Dwight injured off there in the distance, trying to slow things down. Keep in mind, though, that the ace is now sent back to the campfire, meaning only 2 survivors left in this match. Survivors are going to have a very difficult time here to try and get 5 gens. We do see a 3 gen here over by Shaq. That 4th gen off in the distance. I imagine that Jake is sitting on as we speak. Best thing this survivor team can do is try and get the 4th generator completed. But looks like the Blight opting to drop chase with the Dwight, instead going for the gen in the distance, knowing that the Jake has been left alone for quite some time. However, no progression on the gen. That is quite shocking indeed. And we will instead see the Jake trying to get some progress here on the hill gen. Blight, though, unimpressed, will hit it with a Colubrine overcharge. And a bit of a strange rush there. Not sure if that is ping related or what, but Blight losing the chase on the Jake. And looks like there are scratch marks heading over towards Shaq. Blight trying to continue to chase them, though instead going to be jumping back over to the Dwight, who is currently injured. Survivors trying their best to get this 4th gen completed, just I'm not sure if they're going to be able to make it work. Looks like Dwight going back to Shaq. And looks like they will make it to the window. O'Brien telling the Blight that the Jake is over by the hill, but looks like they will commit to the chase on the Dwight, getting the down and going for the hook here in order to get, at this point in time, might as well say it, a pop goes the weasel. Another kick to the gen. Looks like the gens will continue to regress. Jake nowhere to be seen, though. And looks like the Blight might opt to go for the camp here, knowing that they have this 3 gen at their disposal. Blight gonna play a dangerous game here, as Jake could potentially be trying to complete the gen back here in the corner. Surprised it hasn't been worked on sooner. But once again, no progress on the gen. Survivors desperately trying to break this 3 gen with only 2 of them left in the trial. We will see the unhook on the Dwight, and Dwight trying to go for the BT hit. However, understand that BT doesn't last forever, and Dwight will take the hit and get the pal stun on the Blight as well. Blight, though, trying to go for the Jake instead of the Dwight this time, knowing that a hatch escape is a possibility if they do not play this smart. Jake now at the door opening, forcing the Blight to slide. Really smart heads-up play there by the Jake, understanding how Blight's collision works. Blight, though, not taking things as risky here, will end up bouncing beforehand, getting the hit on the Jake. A mid-vault there, but just barely missing the hit, as we will see the hug tech. Jake with the dodge and Blight with the miss. Keep in mind, Dwight has this entire time been able to sit on gens, and Blight, being concerned about that, will drop chase, and looks like they fake the drop, instead going for the Jake. Though, once again, Ping doing some interesting bounces here on the Blight. Not sure if that's spectator related or the Blight, in fact, moonwalking backwards. This time looks like the Jake will go for a locker fake, successfully mind gaming the Blight. Blight unable to get the down. And they will end up at the window here, as we will see Jake continue chase. Blight going for the swing at the window, trying to get a mind game fake, unable to do so successfully. And Jake continuing this chase, and another dodge from the Jake. If the Blight is not careful, I fear that the Dwight might complete this last generator, and Blight, fearful of that too, will now officially drop chase. Sounds like this gen here has quite the progression. We do see Dwight still here in this LT wall. And Blight, with the Colubrine overcharge applied to the gen. Unfortunately, Dwight unable to get much, if any, distance here on the LT wall. However, Blight missing at the T wall. Dwight with a little bit of distance, potentially with a life play. Blight playing it nice and slow, but Dwight with the dodge. These survivors doing an amazing job in extending these chases again and again and again. However, Dwight's luck has run out, and that there will be the pickup. Question is, if I'm not mistaken, I believe Dwight might be on Death Hook. If that is the case, no, there's still one more hook stage left for the Dwight. Blight a bit concerned, rushing back to check the gens over by the shack. And we do see the Jake narrowly going past the hill, potentially trying to go for the unhook here. A dangerous play indeed, as Blight just barely has his rush tokens. Will go for the rush and ends up hitting Dwight on the hook. Unfortunately, body blocking the Jake though. Blight losing where the survivor went, and looks like this will be the last chase. However, Jake with the last minute unhook on the Dwight. There's the BT hit at the window. If there's an unbreakable play, these survivors still might be in it. Probably some of the longest chases and endgame that we have seen in quite some time. However, Dwight caught out here at the tile. Blight just taking their time, going for Bloodlust 3, I imagine. Instead, missing on the Blighted rush. Blight potentially getting a little bit frustrated here that these chases are taking as long as they are, but there is the hit at the pallet, and that there will be the end of the match. Really amazing job by both survivors and the Blight alike. And that will be second hook for the Jake, and the final hook on the Dwight to secure trial number 1. 4K at 3 gens remaining. With that being said, GG, well played both teams, and we are going to get set up and switch sides. This time, Lore's Killer against Iconic Survivor team. With that being said, as a reminder, before we do go on break, we do want to remind everyone here today that you here today, are our sponsors. So that as they watch all the bits that I tip, all the subs that you buy, all go to supporting Champions of the Fog and our $250 prize pool here in Champions of the Fog. With that being said, we'll be back in just a bit. All right, and we are back. This time with Lore's Blight versus Iconic Survivor Team. We do see the Blight rushing towards their corrupted zone, but no sign of the survivors so far. And so far, we will see the Zarina out of nowhere, cutting me off there with a very early hit and a potentially very early down if these survivors do not play things carefully. Zarina trying to make her way over to Shaq, but will end up being downed at the tile. Less than 60 seconds passed in the match, but Corrupt already over. Moments like this where you wonder if Corrupt Intervention is worth having on S tiers like Blight. That there will be a miss, though, on the Jake and a very quick unhook on the Zarina. Great timing, too, as the Blight did not have any charges available on their Blighted Rush. Jake, though, taking a hit this time around. Blight with the attempted mind game. Blight sliding off accidentally, but getting lucky and getting the hit on the Jake nonetheless. Two very clean downs from the Blight here on Iconic Survivor Team. This being very reminiscent of the last trial, as the Blight getting downs as quickly as the survivors are able to unhook. Claudette here will be attempting to use the Shack to their advantage at this LT wall. With the pallet drop, not taking a hit, however, making some distance here. And Blight with the attempted hug tech, unable to get it there though. Claudette trying to make some distance, however, will take the hit on the last token. But with the pallet drop this time, no gens completed so far by these survivors. However, spoke too soon, and we will see a yellow highlighted gen and a Claudette out of nowhere. Claudette taking a very risky play, maybe attempting to heal in the moment, but unfortunately, things not exactly going all too well. Blight with a little bit of nodders, but unfortunately unable to get another bounce to extend. Looks like Claudette with a broken stats effect, potentially a deliverance in play. They see scratch marks at this gen, but are unable to get a sense to where they may have gone. Sounds like a noise notification in the background, potentially a Colubrine in addition to Overcharge. As mentioned earlier, with the combo being used last match, this team, Lore, able to use it as well on their Blight match. Jake in the distance, Blight trying to go for the swing, unable to do so effectively. Another trigger of Colubrine in distance, and Blight with a swing and a miss at the pallet with Jake. Jake this time going to the Z-wall, trying to use the most powerful tile in the game, and Blight unable to get the down. However, will Jake be able to get to this tile in time? Jake dodging the Blight narrowly, and the pallet drop to extend the chase further. Another gen completed in the background. Amazing job here so far by this survivor team. Jake will be put up on the hook for the second time. Keep in mind, these survivors, all they need to do is complete 4 generators here in order to claim victory. Blight, though, unable to get the hit there on Zarina. Another gen completed off in the distance. These survivors doing an amazing job here, fighting through Colubrine and Overcharge alike. Zarina trying to make some distance, unable to do so effectively. Will take the M1 hit. Blight, though, losing sight of them as Zarina will drop the pallet for some additional distance. No 3-gen on this side, unlike what we saw in the last match. Zarina with the Firecracker Blind, Blight with the Blind Rush, but unable to make much distance. Blight will end up dropping chase on the Zarina, it would seem. Right now, we're looking at a bit of a 2-1-1 split with 2 generators remaining. Survivors doing a fantastic job here as they are trying to complete these generators. Blight trying to go for the Nancy, unable to get the hit at the LT wall. Nancy with the life to make up a little bit of distance. And Nancy doing a fantastic job minding the Blight here. Blight just unable to really make up anything. A 4th generator completed. And at this point in time, I do believe the Blight unable to bring things back, as only 1 more generator needs to be completed in order to claim victory for these survivors. Blight with the Blighted Rush. Nancy getting down this time round. And I think that the survivors have this in the bag. It is a 1-1-1 split. Blood Lodge with its unique spawn generation really allowing these survivors to take the time they need to work on any one of these remaining gens. And there it is, 5th generator completed. And that there will be set number 1 in favor of Iconic. Amazing job here by these survivors. And we will see another locker tech there by the Jake, taking a little bit of time. Note that we do not know what this 4th perk is on the Blight. We know of Corrupt Intervention, we know of Eruption, we know, not Eruption, we know of Colubrine, we know of Overcharge. And that there will be the 4th perk, No Way Out. A full 4 stacks, roughly 60 seconds on the clock for these survivors as Jake is sent back to the campfire. Blight here playing for their pride as they'll be attempting to probably get at most a 2K, I would imagine. But only time will tell. Survivors doing a great job of keeping the Blight in the dark. No scratch marks, no sign of the survivors here as No Way Out ticks down. Only 1/4 of No Way Out left before these survivors are able to attempt their escape. And a 3-up, they can very easily do a split exit gate progression. And Blight really chasing their tail here as nothing is being shown. Trying to see if maybe a survivor might be in that, and No Way Out officially has ended. Like going back to this exit gate to check while their stacks do replenish. No sign of the survivors. Blight checking every nook and cranny they can think of before rushing back to the other exit gate. Sure enough, we see the Nancy here. A great find for the Blight as they've only been hooked once so far in this match. Nancy with the pallet and the life to boot. Looks like a potential body block incoming to allow these survivors to get a 3-man out. And there it is. No Blighted Rush tokens left. Nancy, though, caught out in the middle of no man's land. Maybe a miscommunication here by the survivors. Nancy with the pallet throw, unable to get the down, though. Nancy makes a bit of distance, making their way over towards the shack. This could be a potential hatch escape for the Nancy. A blind at the pallet. Nancy making their way. The 2 other survivors need to escape before the hatch is even opened. They have not left yet, though. The survivors may have miscommunicated. And Nancy will go down. And looks like they will end up in the basement. At the end of the day, though, these survivors just need to leave in order to secure the trial or the set 1 win. And that there will do it. A 2-man out for the survivors and a 2K8 hook for the Blight. GG, well played to both teams, and these survivors showing what you can do even against the best of killers. With that being said, we are going to get set up for trial number 3, set number 2, this time on Gas Heaven, where we're going to be seeing a hillbilly mirror. But before we do want to remind everyone here today that we are partnered with Bugdom. If you guys haven't already, make sure to check them out as they are going to be hosting the second half of Group B. We have a full 16 teams playing this season in Group B, and they are going to be duking it out both here and there. So make sure to stop them by, say hi, and drop a follow so you can catch those matches throughout the week. With that being said, we're going to be back in just a bit. All right, and we are back. This time, we are going to be seeing Lore's Killer versus Iconic Survivor Team, and we are going to be seeing a Hillbilly mirror match on Gas Heaven. Honestly, always excited to see some Hillbilly. So we'll have to wait and see if these Hillbillies know what they're doing, if we're going to be seeing some back rows, if we're even going to see some Space Billy action, though I'm not sure if that is possible nowadays. Behavior, not a fan of the Billy Space program, but Hillbilly going out trying to find where these survivors are and finding a Jake, it would seem, quite earlier, or actually, yep, that is a Jake with a bit of a sprint burst, it would seem. So far, Corrupt Invention only known perk by these survivors, though if you listen closely, that there is a bit of bamboozle. We do see Low Pro and will get a beautiful curved hit there on the Jake. Amazing job here by this Hillbilly, really putting the pressure here on the Jake, and Jake getting a little bit caught out. Pallet on its way. Hillbilly could rev up here, but Jake not going for it, will go for the window instead, but Hillbilly narrowly missing the hit. That is huge for the survivors, to say the least, as Jake will get the ability to go to another tile. Jake trying to get away, but taking a chainsaw to the back. Very well played by both survivors and Hillbilly alike, and we will see a deadlock in play, which will block this generator here. We do see Nia moving away toward Shaq, but Hillbilly opting to stay near the most progressed gen. A really smart play here, in all honesty, as you have a very unsafe hook. Yeah, the most progressed gen. Honestly, the Hillbilly can take a lot of time here and force, at the very least, a 1-for-1 exchange. Even seeing the Atom there in the distance, as the Hillbilly will take a kick. Note, no gen highlighted in yellow. No overcharge, no Colubrine, no eruption. No overcharge either, for that matter. The fourth perk here, a little bit of a unknown for both us, the viewers, as well as the survivors. Jake, though, about to progress to second stage. Hillbilly priming the chainsaw to try and ensure that no survivors feel like coming in for the unhook. And there it is. Hillbilly going in and will pressure this main gen here. There's a bit of progress, and sure enough, a survivor to boot. So looks like opting to drop chase for the potential tunnel out on Jake. Hillbilly hearing the Jake on the hill, a potential balanced landing being threatened here. Jake doing an amazing job of getting some distance here before the Hillbilly's able to take note of what's happened. Hillbilly making some good distance, not bumping into the cars as well. And sure enough, it looks like they will go for the tunnel out here, trying to get a survivor out of the game as early as one gen completed. Jake, though, knowing all too well about the Low Pro, not dropping that pallet, and now caught in a bit of an awkward scenario. Billy with a beautiful curve there, getting the Jake down, and looks like Jake will be the first survivor sent back to the campfire via the entity. Two gens, though, back-to-back double deadlock in the distance. A little bit painful here for the Hillbilly, as they're trying to see where the survivor's going, trying to cut them off before they reach Shaq. Nia, though, going to be taking chase here. No pallet stun, and Hillbilly with a bit of a fake on the Low Pro. Here it is, though. There is the Low Pro hit on the Nia. Nia caught out, going to Shaq. Will the Hillbilly be able to get the reverse rev here? Looks like they won't, though. They're about to overheat. Will Hillbilly be able to get the down? Nia, knowing well that the Hillbilly is going to go for that curve at the corner, will not fall victim to it. Hillbilly with the overheat as well, And looks like they're going to just take the time to kick the gen and drop chase, as we do hear a 4th gen completed. Deadlock activating once again, but not really giving the Hillbilly all too much value here in the late game. About halfway on this gen, but no survivor to be seen. Hillbilly opting to go for the Nia, but will end up ending their rev in favor of checking another gen. We do see a survivor out here. Hillbilly trying to cut them off, and a really good job here. Sure enough, it is the Nia at the Z-wall. Oh no, not even a Z-wall, just a tile on the outskirts, and a down, not on the Nia, on the Zarina, in fact, as they will now be looking around trying to see what hooks are available to them. Not many, mind you. Survivors, if they are aware, can use this to their advantage. Personally, I still hold the opinion that behavior should make it to where hooks do not break/despawn. I think that would be a lot more healthier for the game, but Hillbilly here narrowly missing the Nia there, and we do see the 5th gen completed off in the distance. Hillbilly having to make a choice here of going for the exit gate or going for the unhook, and looks like they're gonna opt to pressure the unhook instead before the overheat. Note the haste status effect, meaning that there is in fact a NOED in play. This exit gate currently not being worked on. Nia, though, could be on the other. Adam caught out here in the main building. Will they be able to get enough distance? Able to just trying desperately to get some low pro value. Adam not aware of the NOED, and that there will be the down. Hillbilly now taking a look around, seeing that the exit gate is currently on 3 lights. Will the survivors be able to get another one out? Scratch marks here, NOED not cleansed. There's the Nia, unless there's an unbreakable. Things are looking quite grim. Nia, what could be the final chase. There's the mind game, no hit at the vault though. A bit of a life to try and make some distance, but it will not be enough, as we will see a bit of bamboozling, I imagine. No, Hillbilly threatening the chainsaw, trying to get a bit of mind game here. Will make up a lot of good distance here on the Nia. I imagine Adam primed and ready for a pickup here, but that there will be the final down via NOED. Adam has not unbreakable yet. I do believe there is no way out for these survivors. And that there will wrap up this match. Keep in mind, I don't think we've seen a deliverance yet. So there's a very real possibility that Nia could have deliverance in hand, though it looks like the Hillbilly here not all too concerned about that. If the survivors are somehow able to get a deliverance escape into hatch escape for the Atom, that would be insane. But Hillbilly going back to the hook now to ensure that is not the case, as we do see them about to hit 2nd stage. Adam still nowhere to be seen. And if Adam does not get picked up, it will be a loss of 3 points for the Hillbilly and Lore. So quite the significant point deduction here if that does come to fruition. Keep in mind, Adam still has another minute and 30-ish seconds, and we will see the Nia with the deliverance. Keep in mind that BT is applied on self unhooks. Hillbilly being very well aware of that. However, Nia will end up going down. Is there a deliverance on this, or Decisive Strike on this deliverance? Does not appear to be the case, and that there will be the 2nd hook for Nia, securing at the very least the 3 hook and bleed out, unless Adam does somehow get the hatch escape, which would be huge for this survivor team. Hillbilly back out on the prowl, trying to hunt down the Atom, but unable to find them. If I was the Hillbilly, I'd be making my way back to the shack as soon as possible to avoid the hatch escape. But Adam will be found in the corner in the nick of time. 30 seconds left on the bleed out timer. However, there is no hooks nearby. This actually might be a mistake on the Hillbilly. Hillbilly, realizing what's about to happen, will have to go for the hatch close before they go for the pickup. But opting not to? This is a strange play indeed, as neither one of them are going to go for the hatch. That is quite shocking. And this is the fabled comp corner, friends. We talked a bit about this in the preseason over in feedback. And yeah, Hillbilly honestly should have downed the Atom and then went for the hatch thereafter. At the very least, securing the bleed out points. But now, EGC will potentially claim them as long as the Hillbilly is able to ensure that Adam does not escape via the exit gate. EGC will secure full points for the Hillbilly. The Hillbilly cannot down the Atom. But Hillbilly, going for the down, may have realized they're close enough to that far off hook, and sure enough, I think they're right. Being reminded that there is no DS when the last generator is completed. That's still such a it's still a foreign thought to me and a foreign change, but Hillbilly with a really great job getting that there hook and understanding what they need to do in order to secure the true 4K. So great job by both sides, and GG, well played. With that being said, we are going to flip sides. This time, we'll be seeing Iconic Hillbilly against Lore's Survivor team. But before we do remind everyone here today that you, yes, you here today watching are our sponsors. So that as they watch all the bits they tip, all the subs they buy, and all the rogue energy you buy using the code COTF does support Champs of the Fog and Group B's $250 prize pool. With that being said, we'll be back in just a bit. All right, and we are back. This time, though, we are going to be seeing Iconics Hillbilly against Lore's Survivor team, and they are going to need to get a 4K at 4 gens remaining in order to secure victory. So, going to be quite interesting to say the least. I don't think that it is outside of the realm of possibility, but we might just be seeing a set number 3 here if the Hillbilly is unable to do so successfully. And I got a small little kitten wanting to say hi, so before we jump into the match, chat, say hi to the kitten Butter. He's been a very sleepy kitten this entire time. You may have seen him pouncing around behind me here and there. But without further ado, we're about to load into the match as we speak. Load's taking a bit of time. DBD doing DBD things, maybe? Potentially console players just taking a while to load in. We'll have to wait and see. And looks like it was indeed a 500 error code. Specifically a 501 error code. So it doesn't look like anyone officially DC'd. So apologies about that. We will hopefully be getting things started up here in just one moment. With that being said, we'll be back in just a bit. All right, and we are back once again. Thank you all for your patience and for that quick interruption as DBD does DBD things. Here is some more Butterboy. He is very intrigued on pressing all the buttons on the keyboard, so if we do get a random scene transition, apologies about that. Trying to keep a small kitten under control can be quite difficult as you're also narrating over some DBD competitive matches. But with that being said, we are getting things set up here where once again we are going to see a Billy mirror match, this time with Iconic's Hillbilly against Lore's Survivor team. Also, looks, but no, is that right? No, that is not right. Looks like the score is backwards for one reason or another. Apologies about that. But with that being said, we are jumping right on in as we do see Iconic's Killer against Lore's Survivor team. Hillbilly revving up and trying to find these survivors early. Sure enough, finding two of them right then and there. Nia going down quite quickly, though. Amazing job, to say the least, by the Hillbilly Squirrel here. And Hillbilly going off into the distance once more, trying to identify where these survivors are, finding the Atom, and if you keen-eyed viewers here, that there was a bit of bamboozle. Adam still in chase while injured here. Billy with the swing and the miss, however. There's the pallet drop, being on the wrong side though, and that there will be the second down of this match. Iconic's Killer doing a great job so far, as only a little bit of progress on Jen's here, as we do see the second hook for this killer. Hillbilly going off in the distance, once again trying to find where these survivors are. Seeing potentially a shadow there on the tile. Sure enough, there is the Nia. Another great hit, getting some good distance there. Going for the low pro break as well as cutting off the Nia. No sign of any survivors going for the unhook. Nia, though, trying to go towards main. Hillbilly, though, keeping it close by, ensuring they either get the second progression or a 1-for-1 trade. And there is the attempt, but the miss on the ace. Amazing body block there by the Atom, though 10 seconds only last you so long. We do see the pallet drop there by the Atom. Ace going for the vault, though. Looks like the Hillbilly will go for the tunnel out on the Atom here. Really amazing job here by the survivors, avoiding that 1-for-1 trade. Adam trying to fake out here at the pallet. There's the Bloodlust 2 and the down. Very good job, to say the least, here by the Hillbilly. No decisive strike, and we do see an injured Nia as well, running away towards the shack. Hillbilly in a very good position here to continue chase for another attempt to tunnel out. We will note that Jen kicked is highlighted in yellow, so could be Eruption, could be Call of Brine, only time will tell. However, a repressed alliance there by what sounded like the Jake will block that generator from a potential kick, as we do see them making their way towards the unhook. Nia there with the drop, not going for the vault though. Will she get to the pallet in time? She will, and the firecracker to boot for the potential blind. However, not getting it. Nia going back to the pallet, and we will see a break here from the Hillbilly before going for another kick to the gen. Nia trying their best to stay upright, not wanting to go down for the second time here. Hillbilly, though, trying to go for the Rev, will miss narrowly at the tree as Nia uses it to their advantage to gain a little bit of distance. Potential bounce land here, and sure enough, there it is. Nia with the dodge, but Hillbilly cutting them off. Not a lot available to them here. Another pallet in the middle. Nia with the vault and the down. Hillbilly trying their best to spread some pressure here. Remember, they need to get a 4K before all 5 gens are completed. And looks like they will opt to kick the gen, regressing it a little bit. Keep in mind, there was no eruption regression, so that there is Call of Brine. We do see 2 survivors, 3 survivors, all of them right here for one reason or another. Not afraid of being around the Hillbilly, it would seem. Ace trying to go in for the unhook, but unsuccessful in doing so. Hillbilly opting to go for the break on the pallet, avoiding a potential life play. A very good position for the Hillbilly to be in here, as they are able to not only watch the gen regress, but also potentially camp Nia out to death, sending her back to the campfire. Looks like no one's going to be coming in. Ace still there, harassing the unhook. However, that means that only 2 survivors are potentially out on gens, and this was the most progressed gen this entire time. However, it is almost all but gone now with the likes of Call of Brine. Ace, once again, trying desperately to get this unhook, but survivors sticking to gens. If they're going to make the most of it, they might as well. And there is a survivor sent back to the campfire. Keep in mind that there is another survivor primed and ready to be sent back as well. Jake going for the vault, but will fake it instead. Billy trying to go for the body block there, but unsuccessful in doing so. That would have been a huge play if they were able to. Hillbilly, though, dropping chase on the Jake, and instead checking out the gen over here, and sure enough, there is the Adam. Another great find for the Hillbilly, as they're able to activate Call of Brine, regressing gen at 200% speed, but hitting the tree out of nowhere. And we will see Adam take place here at the tile, narrowly dodging the Hillbilly's chainsaw dash. Hillbilly about to overheat, though, needs to be careful. Adam will juke the hit, though. Amazing play, and the stun to boot. Adam doing a bang-up job ensuring that these survivors are put into a position of success. However, no one there to tap the gen. Adam caught out here, and another bump there by the Hillbilly. Squirrel potentially getting a little bit frazzled, it would seem. Speaking of, there is the overheat as well, just barely. Hillbilly unable to get the hit at the pallet, and now they need to worry about this last generator being completed. Adam over there with the Call of Brine. We also saw Ace on the gen nearby the chase. Hillbilly will dive back, trying to get there before the gen's completed. A bit of bamboozle play here. Survivors need to come in and get this gen ASAP. If they tie this, they do force set number 3. If they get a survivor out, they force it as well. It's looking pretty grim for the Hillbilly here, but only time will tell. Adam will be going for another chase. Hillbilly trying to stop any progression on these gens. Instead, dropping chase, going for the gen over here with both Ace and Jake. This is going to be quite difficult for the Hillbilly to make work with. And looks like they're trying to fake them out, going for the Ace instead of the Jake. Adam still injured, back over by the other gen. Not much time had taken place for the regression. There's a bit of bamboozle. Jake back on the gen. Call of Brine from the Adam. No locker tech from the Ace. And here's the attempted go through Shack, but it just ain't going to happen. Things are looking quite grim indeed And I do believe that there will result in the tie game for these teams. Even if the Hillbilly here were to get the 4K and secure the draw, that still force a set number 3. So amazing job by both sides here today, as this here will be a down for the Hillbilly on the ace with the likes of Noed. Very similar to what we saw before. However, that will be the exit gate open and at least one survivor out via the exit gate. So amazing job here by both Iconic's Hillbilly as well as Lore's Survivor team. And that, I believe, will be the 2K for the Hillbilly and the 2-man out for the Survivors. With that being said, I imagine we'll be moving to set 3 here in just a moment, where we're going to be seeing Iconic versus Lore on Rancid. This time, a bit of a twins mirror match. Ace with the self unhook. However, that DT don't last forever. Trying to make use of the pallet here, pretty unsafe. Going for the mind games. There's the stun. Can Ace make their way back over to the shack and the hatch? A near miss there by the Hillbilly, and a bamboozle, double bamboozle there on the window. Ace going for the pallet stun, will successfully get it. However, with low pro, things are going to get a bit rough for the Ace. Between the haste as effect as well as bloodlust incoming, I believe that there will be the down. Billy taking no chances here, will break open the back door in order to gain access to the hook. That there will be the 2K8 hook for the Hillbilly. Really good stuff there. And GG, well played to both teams. With Iconic and Lore 1-1, we'll be moving into set number 3 on Rancid for the Twins mirror match. Iconic will be killing first against Lore's Survivor team. So with that being said, we're going to be back in just a bit. But before we do go, do remind everyone here today that you, yes, you the viewers, are our sponsors, so that as they watch all the bits that I tip, all the subs that you buy go to supporting Champs of the Fog and our Group B's $250 prize pool. With that being said, we'll be back in just a bit. All right, and we are back for set number 3, Iconic versus Lore. And we are going to be jumping right on in as we have Twins versus Twins. But we're going to be starting off with Iconic's Twins versus Lore's Survivor Team on Rancid. And once again, it is best of 3, so this is anyone's game as we speak. Also, looks like it wasn't the titles that were wrong, but in fact it was the scorecard itself being a little bit funky, so thank you all for dealing with our technical issues here today. But with that being said, we should be all set and ready to go for set number 3, trial number 5 of round number 1 of match number 2. A lot of numbers and words there, but with that being said, we're going to be jumping right on in. And we see Squirrel piling the Twins once again, and a bit of corrupt intervention in the distance. Question of the day, are the survivors or killers allergic to corn? And it looks like the Twins, able to see the survivors through it, will find the ace at the LT wall. Ace doing a great job making a bit of distance there, however, vaulting into the Twins at the T wall. Amazing mind game there by them. And looks like we will be sending out Victor to try and go for a bit of a quick down. Jumping over the pallet, however, Ace ready for the kick. A cheeky idea for sure, unfortunately just not able to get much in the way of value. We will note that looking around, that gen is highlighted in yellow, so that there is either Call Up Brian or Eruption. We do, however, hear the Ace trying to get away from the Twins once again, however, Twins losing them a little bit here as they're unable to gain line of sight. Ace here trying to find something, anything. Twins, though, unable to get the pounce as Ace will make their way towards a locker. Question is that more than 10 seconds away from Charlotte? And it does look to be the case as the first gen is completed by Lore. So far, Survivor's doing a fantastic job here. Looks like Twins will kick the gen once again, trying to regress the gens to the best of their abilities, this time in chase with the Atom. That first chase may have severely costed the Twins a lot of time. We do see Steve here, though, using the box advantage, unfortunately taking a hit and running towards the Twins here, though, trying to reunite both Victor and Charlotte, as we do see another kick on the gen. Based on that there is a Call of Brine, not an Eruption. And we will see a chase this time with the Nia. Looks like a bit of bounced landing action, and we do see the Steve as well. Twins opting to drop chase with the Nia, instead going for the Steve here in the main building. Victor ready to be reclaimed, and there it is. Twins trying to go for a bit of a mind game here, bringing Victor out to play. Question is, will we see the vault? We do, but Twins missing the pounce at the tile. That is heartbreaking to see there, as second gen has been completed by this Survivor team. And we will be seeing the chase continue on the Steve as Victor comes out to play once again. But this time going down at the hands of Victor for the first down of this match. Actually, second down of this match, as they were able to get a pickup earlier. Nia getting pounced on, unable to do any significant action, and Twins will be going back out to pick up the Steve, who has made their way to the favorite comp corner of Rancid. And looks like this will be the first hook of this match, almost 3 generators in. So not a great place for the Twins to be in, but a Scourge Hook Pain Resonance might just turn things around. We do see Victor out there in the distance. No sign of the survivor working on the gen here. And we do see some crows, though. There to the left, though. Looks like Twins will instead try and go for the Nia. And a miss on the pounce. I am shocked that A, the Nia went for the vault, but B, that Victor was unable to get the hit. That is quite surprising indeed, as we do see another Call of Brine apply to these gens, trying to slow the game down in some capacity. Two survivors still injured and vulnerable to the Twins. However, we do see the Steve, and that'll be the third survivor now, injured and unable to work on gens. Ace here in the tile, trying to make the best of a bad situation. However, Twins with the mind games, trying desperately to get the Ace down as quickly as possible, will avoid the pallet stun as Ace will move back towards the tractor. Question is, can they get the down fast enough here, as we do hear Victor around another survivor with that killer instinct. Ace with the life play, trying to get some distance. A flashlight blind 2 over the pallet. However, Twins hot on their trail will get the down. And we do see a Call of Brine noise notification there in the distance, informing the Twins where these survivors currently are. Scourge Choke Pain Resonance once again regressing the gen by a whopping 15%. Definitely not insignificant, as we do see the Nia here going to the LT wall. Twins, knowing the body block was incoming, will opt to instead go for the pounce on the Steve, and there is the Nia caught out in the middle of nowhere. Locker Tech incoming, trying to waste as much time as possible, but not working out as well as they probably hoped. Another Scourge Choke coming in probably, though we do see two survivors over there potentially with some body blocks. No Scourge Choke Pain Resonance this time based on the score of vents, though we do see the Adam caught out in a tile with no pallet available, and looks like Adam will narrowly dodge Victor's pounce, getting crushed as well. That is heartbreaking for the Twins, as they've missed a number of Victor pounces here, and that have potentially cost them a lot of time and pressure throughout this match. There's the unhook by the Adam. Actually, the Ace out of nowhere. Victor going for the pounce on the Nia instead of going for the Ace. And looks like Charlotte will once again kick this gen, applying Call of Brine, trying to regress these gens in some way, shape, or form, as they do have access to this 3 gen here. If they're able to hold down the 3 gen, that would be a huge play. Steve, actually not that far away from Charlotte. That would have been huge in the instance that the Twins was able to get their grab out of locker, though opting instead to pounce on the Adam. Not sure if that was in an effort to slow the game down or what, though Nia now here at the tile will get mind gamed and get down relatively quickly. This could be enough for the Twins to bring things back. However, a decisive strike will instead force the Twins to drop chase, as they see Victor by the Call of Brine gen and the Adam there waiting at the L wall. 3 gen broken now, only 1 gen remaining. The Twins is in a bit of a dire situation, as Adam will continue to loop the LT wall to perfection. Victor coming out this time though, and Adam does not have much to work with. Adam going down nearby the shack. Yeah, honestly, I'm thinking that if they would have gotten the grab on the Steve in the locker instead of going for the Adam, that may have actually been their ticket to victory. We do hear Killer Instinct nearby Victor, though looks like they're going to opt to go for the pickup on Adam instead of worrying about that. Survivors looking around for Victor, it seems, and will in fact get the kick. These gens pretty well split in the survivors' favor. Fresh hook, though, on Adam is definitely nothing to sneeze at, as that'll get the Twins an additional 3 points in their favor. No sign of the survivors, however, as Victor will make a quick sweep before moving to the gen on the other side. No survivor in sight going for the unhook either. Twins making sure of that. And here is the gen that these survivors are working on. Not going for the locker play, surprisingly. Instead, taking the pounce. And we do see the unhook on the Atom could have been a deliverance. And it appears to be the case as they do sprint burst away. One survivor still on the gen over here. That there is the Steve, and we do see the Nia there as well. Could be a significant play as two survivors are now off of gens. Nia with the mind game will end up going down, I believe, for the last time here, as they will be sent back to the campfire here on this hook. In addition, no, not sent back to campfire. However, Scourge Pain Resonance regressing the gen with the most progression by 15%, about 13.5 seconds off the gen, in addition to a Call of Brine as well. The twins here trying their best to rein things back in. We do see Steve trying to get the attention of Victor, and we do also see the last generator completed and Adam about to go down at the exit gate. However, Victor getting crushed will mean that the ace is able to get the pickup pretty much without any issue. Twins, though, opting to go for it nonetheless, as we do see the Atom picked up off the ground and a no way out activated. That is a full 60 seconds and no way out that these survivors have to compete with. Atom dodging the hit from Victor, getting the crush as well. Ace trying to stay nearby for the body blocks, and the double heal there will successfully get the heal on the Atom. Twins struggling to get any pressure going here. And there is Steve trying to go for the body block. We see Nia coming in too. No exit gates, mind you, currently being worked on, and the crush incoming, but unable to get it in time. Victor still here, 3 body blocks available. Adam able to avoid the pounce and the kick on Vic. Keep in mind, no way out still activated for a little bit longer here. And things are not looking great for the twins as we speak. Survivor's very likely going for a heal on the Atom. Sure enough, there he is at the LT wall. Victor coming out and looks like jumping into the locker. Unless survivors are primed and ready for body blocks here, they're not going to be able to get them. Exit gate opened up. Victor on the grab, and looks like Adam will be hooked and the remaining survivors escaped. So that there will be a 1K7 hook for the twins. Not bad, all things considered. Gonna make the score pretty close in the long run. Looks like 15-17 in Iconic's favor here by a total of 2 points. So with that being said, we are going to be switching sides here in just a moment. We'll be seeing Lore's twins against Iconic's Survivor team. But before we do go on a quick break and get this lobby set up, we do want to remind everyone here today that we are partnered with Pugdom. Pugdom is going to be hosting the latter half of Group B. So if you guys haven't already, make sure to stop on by, say hi, and drop a follow so you can catch the remainder of Champions of the Fog's matches throughout the week. With that being said, we'll be back in just a bit. All right, and we are back. And surprise, surprise, I am joined last moment by Juke, who is going to join us for our 4 p.m. match. Unfortunately, that there was canceled due to a forfeit by 7 rushies. But nonetheless, very happy to have you here, Juke. Have you been enjoying your day of DBD comp?
Yeah, so far, yeah. I got to play in COTF and in Erie League today, so I'm feeling very warmed up on my game sense, so I'm excited to be casting here with you today.
Awesome. Well, pleasure having you here as always. And we are jumping right on in with Twins. Once again, this is a bit of a mirror match. Iconic just finished up theirs, and now we're going to be seeing Lore's Twins on Rancid. What are your thoughts here with Twins on this map?
I think Twins on this map is a bit of a toss-up. They are a very powerful killer, and in the right hands can be nearly top tier, but on a map like Rancid, it really is going to depend on your gen spread and how quickly you can get that first down, although finding first chaser at a T and L wall could result in a pretty fast down if they give the M1.
Yeah, looks like they're going to be trying to do just that on the Jake here. Jake trying desperately to get to this tile, will successfully do so, extending this chase a little bit further than the Twins would probably like as Bloodlust does activate, and Jake moving back in towards the Harvester, trying to get the vault here, though Twins doing a double back here over that window will successfully get the hit.
Yeah, really bad giving an M1 to a Twins here. It allows Victor to come out and maybe get it down here. Although the Harvester, notoriously really hard to play around Twins, but looks like they're going to go for the locker instead, and they can't quite get in front of it, and that is going to be the grab in the locker there. And that is a huge start for our Twins here.
Yeah, definitely a risky play there by the Jake. Unfortunately, not working out in their favor as Adam was just not able to get in front of Victor in time. And that there will be the first hook of this match and the first kick of a gen that we've seen. We will note that generator will be highlighted in yellow. Could be Colorblind or Eruption. Only time will tell.
Absolutely. They're going to be running down to the middle here. Victor keeping Charlotte close to the hook for the camp. If they can get this injury here, that'll be a decent amount of pressure for them to play around. So this arena's got the movement, though. Here, let's see. Oh, missing through the corn, not quite getting it. It's tricky to hit Victor hits in the corn, I must say. Like, with survivors going back and forth like that, it can be kind of tough.
Yeah, absolutely. Do you want to note there, we do see a generator repressed by the entity. That there is a deadlock in play. So far we have seen deadlock and corrupt intervention. Once again, could be Colorblind or Eruption here. Jake, though, caught out in the middle of nowhere, though bounce line will get them a little bit of distance here in chase.
Yeah, they might be able to make it to the third pilot, and that's exactly what they do, although Victor's getting sent out here, and we'll have to see if they're able to take a hit. Like last time, the hit take was not quite there, and it looks like just like this time, they were not quite able to get in front of Victor, which is going to be another down. And if you get a fast tunnel out, you're in a really good spot with Twins. 1v3 versus Twins is nearly impossible to play based on how many gens are remaining.
Yeah,
so our Twins doing a good job keeping them pressured here.
Yeah, absolutely. However, we do see Twins trying to ensure they cannot get the pallets done here. Lori, though, getting in front. Unfortunately, no pallets done. And Victor will be crushed as well, resetting them for the Twins to use again. Jake in a world of hurt here, to say the least.
Yeah, having someone on second hook already. Only one gen popped, although I'm assuming another one should be done pretty soon. It looks like they have a lot of pressure on this middle gen. Lori being injured and not quite getting the hit on Adam. If he looked up a little bit more, he would have gotten that. That's really unfortunate. Getting the kick, but having someone injured right now means that only 2 are able to come for save. And, you know, you're 2 killers at once. You can spread a lot of pressure on these survivors and make sure they don't get this pull.
Yeah, but sure enough, Lori will be healed, and we do see Crows going back for the unhook as we speak, so it looks like Adam will successfully get the unhook here. Question is, will the Twins be able to successfully get a tunnel out? And we do see the For the People here from the Adam. Really good stuff, and another bounce landing to boot to gain Jake a little bit of distance as they move towards main building.
Yeah, they do make main building without taking a hit, which is exactly what you needed in this chase. And they have a fair amount of distance, so they actually can make it to the next filler pallet too before the hit. Not sending Victor out, playing patiently, really wants to get that 2-tap. Risky play to be sure, but if they do manage to get the M1, it could be huge for them. And with the Bloodlust kicking up, they're going to get that M1, taking chase to Shaq now.
Yeah, really good plays here, and Jake just throwing everything in existence to try and extend the chase a little bit more. We do see Victor coming out, though Jake may have made enough distance to jump into a locker here. We see Lori even trying to block the door there, and Jake will get enough time. I think they are more than 10 seconds away from the locker, so Jake will more likely not successfully escape from the locker in time, though I imagine Lori might need to take a body block as well.
Yeah, this is a huge time waste from our survivors here, just making sure that they deny the down as long as possible. As soon as this player is out of the game, it becomes a lot trickier to play this match out, and it looks like they're using all their resources to keep them in the game, but gens are still being worked on. There are 2 survivors who have not really been interrupted in a long time, so we could be seeing a lot of gen pressure right now.
Yeah, we still hear Lori nearby. Jake, though, kind of caught out here and will be down. Lori's still nearby as well, and I believe the Twins does note that as we do see blood. Lori playing very dangerously, trying to heal next to the Twins, and will get down because of it.
Yeah, this is a huge amount of pressure. They have a slug, an injure, and now someone on death hook here. They could potentially snowball this and bring this game back, even though it looked a little bit tricky in the middle there. They played this well, and we get a gen for this kill here, so it's down to 3 people with 2 gens left. That deadlock gen is probably 99, I would assume, so lots of pressure from both sides here. This could really be anyone's game at this point.
Yeah, I will note that Iconics Twins got a 1K, a fresh hook on 2 survivors, and 2 hooks on another. So Iconic is still in it to win it as we speak, though things are becoming narrower and narrower. They're going to need to try and get a 3-man out in order to secure victory.
Yeah, it looks like the Deliverance is coming in here and Victor back on it, but the Harvester is so hard to play against. So though Lori abandoning the Harvester altogether and making it to this tile over here. A lot trickier to play around this tile. Might hop locker. Not quite able to make it though. Going down, and we'll see if the Twins decides to slug and keep the pressure going or just go for the pickup.
Yeah, I mean, we see this gen here, as you said, 99. However, a call of Brian going to be coming in and regressing it as we speak. Nia with another 99 gen, though. Sorry, Zarina with another 99 gen here. That is going to be quite tricky for the Twins, as we see Adam coming in, trying to complete the gen before they are able to kick the other one. That way they can deadlock a second 99 gen, as we do see, I believe, Zarina coming over here, trying to pick up the Lori.
Yeah, this is a lot of pressure here. This Arena cannot get found in this situation, or else 2 survivors will be on the ground. Only 1 survivor able to pressure gens right now, and now they are in chase. Every survivor is busy doing something right now. The amount of pressure that this Twins has is unbelievable in this moment.
Yeah, I will say, though, the Twins are more than 10 seconds away from the Charlotte, though they will end up going down at the LT wall. This gives Adam time, though, to complete the gens.
Yeah, they have not checked in on that middle gen in a little while, although finding another survivor here, if they're able to get this down, which, I mean, playing the Harvester correctly there, not leaving it right away and just wasting a lot of time, but looks like Adam's going to be interrupted once again, and this Twins is opting to just go for pressure rather than hooks right now, and I think they really want to get this 4K the way they're playing right now.
Yeah, however, more than 10 seconds away, they're not going to be able to do much to stop this Arena from getting rid of Victor and potentially picking up the Lori as well. We do see Twins going back for the potential pickup and hook here, and we do see Adam successfully complete the first of 2 gens, 99.
Yeah, with Deadlock in play, though, that last gen, even if it's close, is now blocked. Therefore, if this down comes in, which it does now, there's only 1 survivor up, although they just got Lori up in time, and so they're trying to slow this pressure down. But if Victor can find the Lori here and then find the Adam, it's going to be looking pretty grim for the survivor side of things, although it looks like Twins losing the survivor, and it looks like the middle gen is 99, missing the pounce, going to be severely punished for that and kicked, and that last gen is going to be popping any second now that Deadlock has run out.
Yeah, I will say, though, these survivors still need to manage to get a 3-man out. So they're going to need to somehow manage to get the unhook and escape here for the Zarina after this. We do see Adam with the For the People on the Lori, mind you, as well. And that will be first hook for the Zarina. I believe at this point, the survivors are able to give up 2 hook states. It is a 1K fresh hook on 2 survivors. They can now give up 2 hook states in order to tie set number 3. This could be quite the intense endgame.
Yeah, with 2 survivors still being left, they can get the double save, although Adam, using For the People, he broke himself, so he's not going to be able to go for the save because he's not going to be able to heal for a little while. So look, this might be a free second stage camp unless the Lori can come in, but that would just probably be a 1-for-1. So I'm curious to see what these survivors are planning in order to get this win condition met, because it is a tough one.
Yeah, in addition, we do see No Way Out activating only 3 unique survivors hooks so far, so only 45 seconds on the No Way Out blockers. But that will be enough for the Twins to secure the second stage, though Adam, no longer broken, is able to get healed.
Yeah, it's really going to come down to this final moment here. After the Adam gets healed, they're going to have to make the play, come in for the save, and get the 3-man out, which is tricky to do, but with it being an M1 killer and being able to take hits for his Victor, it's not impossible. It's just, it's hard. It's very tricky. They have to play this perfectly.
Yeah, though Iconic potentially doing the math here, and if I'm looking at it right, Adam with the fresh escape, that will be 3 points, and then Zarina with an additional 4. That actually might secure the victory here for the survivors. If I'm looking at the math right, though, we do see Lori here trying to go for the unhook. Lori trying to force the trade. Twins not going for it. There's the body block. Lori once again setting up. I believe Lori is going to have to give up here. The math might be right with the Adam being a fresh out here. We'll have to wait and see. Survivors have no reason to stick around at this point in time, so come down to the math via Excel spreadsheet. 30 points for Lore as it stands. I imagine 2 survivors escaping here. There goes the Adam. Lori thereafter. That will be escape. And sure enough, 2-point difference. Iconic coming out on top because of the Adam's fresh escape, even with 2 survivors dying there at endgame.
Wow, you know, really close game. Both teams played so well there, but it really just came down to these tiny little mistakes and just trying to force that from the other side. And I think both teams had a good job of doing that, but Iconic was able to get it in the end, just coming on top ever so slightly.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, with that being said, that there is the end of match 2 in round 1, Iconic versus Lore. Amazing job by both teams, and GG well played, but congratulations to Iconic for coming out victorious if their round 1 victory. And with that being said, that there will be the end of Champions of the Fog for today. We will be back Saturday with Group A, our best of the best top 8 teams from qualifiers. So hopefully everyone here is excited for that. And Juke, thank you much for stopping by and joining me for the last trial of the day. Hopefully it was an exciting one.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun to watch. Thanks for having me.
Awesome. Well, with that being said, guys, thank you all as always, and we will see you next time. Bye-bye.